Last chance. We're starting to get a picture of what the leaderboard looks like, but nothing is guaranteed at PMGC. I'm here with KaptaiN from Alter Ego, putting up a great performance, but I want to go back to the group stage because your squad was able to put up 100 points in the first 2 days, and in the last day, a complete fell off. You were able only to get 5 points. What are you guys going to be looking to do here different in last chance to make sure you are continuing to be consistent and that drop-off doesn't happen?
Oke, kalau kita lihat dari grup stage itu di 2 hari pertama kalian berhasil mendapatkan 100 poin, tapi di hari ketiga kalian cuma mendapatkan 5 poin. Apakah yang bakal dilakukan oleh kalian supaya agar kalian bisa lebih konsisten di last chance ini?
Paling kita belajar, kita evaluasi bareng kan ya sebelum mulai last chance ini. Terus kita evaluasi apa kesalahan-kesalahan yang perlu diperbaiki sama yang udah fatal-fatalnya lah. Jadi kita perbaiki semua itulah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, during the last chance, I mean, we had a couple day off. So yeah, we doing our homework and then we try to fix our mistake. I mean, the biggest mistake that we did in the group stage so that it doesn't happen in the last chance.
Okay, one of those mistakes that people were pointing out, especially all the analysts were saying that sometimes you were being too overly aggressive. Today, so far, positioning has been great. Everything, timing has been great. Is that something that the team was working on?
Oke, kalau kita lihat kebanyakan analis di luar sana semua pada bilang mungkin salah satu mistake yang kalian lakuin itu adalah terlalu agresif, terlalu barbar. Apakah itu menjadi salah satu hal yang kalian sudah bebenah kemarin?
Ya, jadi terlalu agresif itu gameplay kita yang kemarin-kemarin lah, nggak bisa bedain timing harus agresif sama pasif. Jadi kita evaluasi ya harus seimbangin dua-duanya lah di antara pasif sama agresifnya. Jadi biar balance, kalau misalkan pasif doang, ntar ngendok terus.
Okay, I mean, yes, they are right, especially about like overly aggressive. And I think that's what we've been discussing about for the last few days. And I think sometimes we need to be balanced. Sometimes we just need to be a bit passive. And then sometimes we need to be a little bit aggressive. So I think, yeah.
Well, it's working out great today, as I mentioned. Currently in first place, those 48 points are looking good. You have a healthy lead to the third place with 18 points after 3 matches. Now, it is KaptaiN. It is your first time here at PMGC. How are you dealing with the pressure of representing Indonesia with such an amazing org as well?
Oke, sebagai ini kan pertama kali buat PMGC, buat KaptaiN sendiri, gimana seorang KaptaiN itu menghandle situasi pressure menjadi satu-satunya perwakilan Indonesia di pentas global?
Cara handle pressure sih karena punya teman sama coaching staff juga sih yang bantu gimana cara handle pressure itulah. Gue teman kayak yang udah senior kan tiga semuanya. Terus saya juga baru junior di sini jadi belajar banyak lah sama mereka lah.
Yeah, I think the one that helped me handle the pressure basically is coming from the coaching staff and my teammate as well. They are senior. They has been here multiple times. I think they're doing a lot of they give me a lot of things or tips for me to handle the pressure. So thanks for them.
Hey, well, it's currently working out. I'm hoping to see that performance continuing on. And for all the analysts out there, Junior, Max, are you happy with what you're seeing out of Alter Ego today in the first day of last chance?
I think all fans of Alter Ego are feeling really good right now. You know what else is good? It's the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone of PMGC 2025. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory, empowering every gamer to hashtag be the one and hashtag outplay the rest on the global stage here, man. KaptaiN's first ever PMGC, and this guy is just crushing it, Neptura.
He is, and he was MVP of the Rondo they won, MVP of this Erangel they won. So he's been the MVP of his team in both their wins today and his first time in PMGC. I love the new blood that we're seeing here, the new storylines, these new players coming into PMGC and doing so well, Max.
It's so hard to do too because keep in mind, they have Rosemary on the team. Like, come on, he is just a storied player from Indonesia. And the fact that we're seeing KaptaiN doing so well for himself is very impressive. But I like it, yeah, it's brought up during the interview, right? He was definitely being a little bit too aggressive from time to time. But here, just to write him out, he adapts to the situation. Does he need to be a little bit more passive? You know what? Hell yeah. And they play more passive in that Rondo. They get themselves the win. Do they have to be a bit more aggro and looking for the angles going into that final game on a angle where they got the chicken dinner? Yes. And you know what? He does exactly that. KaptaiN. You know what? For his first time at PMGC, it doesn't feel that way in Iptro. It feels like that he's played PMGC every single season since season 0. This guy is looking so comfortable in this global lobby.
And I think that's a really good word as well, Max. It's comfortable. He is feeling really comfortable. He doesn't feel out of place in this lobby. He's not looking pressured. He's not making silly mistakes. He's taking those off angles really, really well. And that's what we would expect from, like you said, a Rosemary or somebody else who's very, very experienced at this level. So really nice to see that from Krypton for sure.
It even feels like Rosemary's kind of the support setup player for Krypton sometimes. Not every time, but like this game, Rosemary had an angle, and he was just like, okay, Krypton, just push forward, man. And it works out perfectly because you have literally one of the best fraggers as your support off-angle player. I mean, Hodgix, you can't ask for anything better. Like, you know your back is safe.
Oh, man, absolutely, man. Who cares, right? Who's in the front, who's in the back, as long as you're winning games. And that's exactly what Alter Ego has done. 3 matches so far. They've won 2 out of 3. And you love to hear from Krypton, talking about the support, right, from the coaches, the back-end staff. And we got to see a little glimpse of them, you know. Great sportsmanship here. But at the end of the day, you know, it's 2 teams that move forward. Alter Ego have won 2 of them, Max. If Alter Ego win another one today, that could lock their position in. I think it does, to be honest.
I think it does.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it does as well. So, at this point, for all these other squads, if you want to get one of those 2 slots, or at least keep both of those slots open, you got to do everything you can to try and slow this team down. But it's looking pretty difficult to do, Neptura, because Alter Ego, they're on a roll.
They are on a roll. And I think what's going to be difficult for a lot of the teams more in the mid pack of the lobby of the leaderboards is really that there's several teams who continue to put up big performances. They're just not quite getting the win. Inner Circle, for instance, we've seen big moves from them. We've also seen big stuff from Influence Rage, Burmese Ghouls, Loops. All of those teams in the top 5, they're stepping up in a way that maybe it's not really translating to the amount of points that they want, the amount of points that Alter Ego are able to put up, but they're still doing enough to kind of put a foot on the rest of the lobby and go, hold on, no, you stay down there, you're not coming up here. And I think for the rest of the lobby, that's going to be a second hill to climb. First it's them, and then it's Alter Ego.
Oh, definitely. But actually, I want to echo something you said, Hodgix, right? Which is very unforgiving because it's a two-day tournament. But it's a perfect setup if you have just one banger day like this, because literally 50% of your games are just good games. Which right now, Alter Ego, they're loving it. Though I do want to highlight one small thing before we go into the game. We're seeing so much use for the ASM Abacan. Like, we've actually seen a shift in the AR meta that used to be like purely M4s. ASM Abacan mid-range with the rate of fire is so strong, and I'm so happy to see Hodgix that teams are finally adapting here and starting to put it in their loadouts.
Love to see teams mix things up here in the last chance. 3 more matches left to go. Last Aaron Gale of day number 1. John Allen and Blake, it's up to you guys.
Oh, oui, bonjour. Je suis Max Mann, et j'aime le PUBG Mobile PMGC. We're going in for another game of Erangel, of course. Nah, I'm just kidding with you. I'm actually John. Don't worry. I know you guys were fooled at home. It is still actually John. I'm here with Blank. This play path, though, still loves Sosnovka, and we're still staying on the south side.
Horrendous playing path, actually, to start things off here. Down towards the south. Really rough for a lot of our squads. I think this is particularly horrible because instead of it going from west to east, it's going east to west. And Ferry Pier, Primos, Quarry really want to be grouping up towards those areas. You get a couple of teams dropping down towards Sosnovka. Inner Circle, not really fussed about this one. Being able to get Millie Base nice and early on this as well. Geek over towards the eastern side. Yeah, it's tough. Definitely tough.
Vehicle hot drops potentially on the cards here. The west side looking pretty glutsome, but that east edge as well. A mill to power the Boars. Dropping down. They got a couple of Papara Supermassive players right next to them, but there's some underneath them as well, and they are all going to have to touch down very, very close by. Blank. Oh, we've had more than our fair share, but it looks like we haven't had quite enough. Another dish, another serving coming on through of Military Island. Potential to finish, not guaranteed. Alter Ego, however, if you want to stop them early. That might be the way to do it. The Boars have already extracted first blood.
My God, straight back down towards Sosnovka again. At least it's only one. It's only one. But now I am convinced there is someone pulling the strings. This is so many Sosnovkas. I think this is probably the most, in fact, I'm convinced this is the most Sosnovkas we've ever had at PMGC ever over the 5 years I've been covering this game. So yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Arcred, Easy Bad Boy losing 2 actually to the Flash with knives and an S12K. Sometimes all you need. Yeah, it's all down to this playing path. It's just so brutal. Really, you're having to drop on such odd areas. Teams are going to hunt you down. Yeah, it's tough. It's very tough. And now heading back down towards Sosnovka as well. Overall, this has been a mess of a final Erangel. Alter Ego also lost 1 player earlier, like you were talking about, John, which is kind of a big deal for them, considering they'd love to have another strong finish over on Erangel. With 48 points, really far ahead of anyone else. They get a bit more of a buffer here. It does really assist them going into tomorrow if they can finish out their last at Miramar strong.
I'm just looking at some goings on the map right now. Obviously, with a military circle, this heavily featured, teams are going to start to think about how the moves are going to go. Inner Circle very, very quickly, Blank, moved out from military base. Sure, they can touch down early, but they've moved out to look to guard the bridge. Gen G actually just about got through before they established their roadblock. But the Falcons, we've seen them profit quite nicely off military circles by moving very early, but they're now going to ram straight into a roadblock set by Inner Circle. Can they get through Ralph? No, he's pulled out. And this is a very fast rotate coming through from Inner Circle to establish this. It's a miracle that Gen G got through, to be honest.
It is. And they do make it. For Falcons, though, they lose Ralph. Inner Circle, who are quick to the mark here. Sadly, they did leave Gen G to get across as this initial shot over towards Alter Ego. They were trying to leave, so I do respect it. And some pistol gameplay. John PUBG Mobile.
I think you're talking about me. Yeah, I get it. I'm John Wick. That makes more sense.
There are some other people more important than you, John, sometimes, but you are quite important to me.
Well, I don't know about that. I'd have to double check, you know. The only other notable John, really, the guy who wrote the Magna Carta, you know, very important. 1216. Or 1215, rather, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, King John. The only King John we've ever had. Anyway, I'll stop banging on about royal history and human rights conventions because we are getting on and involved with Gen G, who managed to get through very, very quickly on that south side rotate, getting past the roadblock and actually in a circle now think, you know what, we've already let a team through. We should probably try and consolidate in the middle. It's interesting that they choose to go directly back into military base and not take a position around it, though.
Yeah, well, I think I don't mind Inner Circle's position on this. I think a lot of teams play melee base and play it way too safe a lot of times. I'm glad that they flexed out a little bit. They still had control over this area. It looks a little sad on the rankings for Inner Circles for how good of a team that they are at 23 points. But I'm hoping this game here on Erangel can push them a little bit further. I mean, they've had all the cards dealt to them. They had a really early drop. They had tons of times to loot. They also had opportunity to hold teams out and maintain position. T24 being this low is a little bit spooky. But yeah, I think genuine at this point, just loot. Get looted. Right, you've done enough already. You can start looking back over towards the Western Bridge in a little bit. Personally, I don't really rate melee base all that much on Sosnovka. I think it's a good starting point. I would rather teams like played over towards higher ground, over towards the western side, looking out towards the bridge. I just think melee base closes you off a lot. Yeah, sure, if the circle keeps centering up on melee base, you get yourself a win. But I think there's so many other things you can do in this circle to guarantee you a high placing, rather than just thinking to yourself, oh, we had melee base at the start, so maybe we just hold this position all game. Yeah, I don't think it's high value.
May not be. Maybe something they can address or readdress in the future. In the meantime, though, Inner Circle have moved to the hills to the north, leaving, felt like a little bit of a backstop there. Gen G disengaged from that one. Teams are starting to move around the boars all the way on a very wide south rotate in the water. They'll be touching land fairly soon, you'd imagine. Papa Supermassive also across. Influence Rage currently on the west bridge, Blank. They are going to be close by to the Wolves. And of course, Influence Rage looking to chase down that first place spot back from Alter Ego. And for now, though, a lot of teams still left up on that northern side. So yet to make moves for probably, what is that, 6, 7 teams up there?
Yeah, it's quite a few. I mean, for Loops, Weibo, got Wolves also trying to make their way down. Kind of interested to see how Alter Ego handles this. Because GK are holding on the other side.
I mean, with that, I mean, they love just GK specifically love posting up on the observatory hill on that mountain that sits to the south of the bridge. And as you say, they are blocking this. And with Alter Ego on 3, that's much harder.
Yeah, I don't think GK is going to give this one up. But Alter Ego are making the cross. Alva getting through, but very low, and Ragnarok will pick him up.
Yeah, that's pretty clean. Not much you can do about that. Except, I guess, not get shot by it in the first place. Rosemary under pressure as well. Next circle, just about to pop in as our teams begin to move south. Migrate for the warmer season. Oh my goodness.
Okay. It happens.
This is great for Alter Ego.
It happens.
Well, it would be if they hadn't lost a player.
It happens finally. I've been waiting for a circle like this all my life. Honestly, finally get to talk about it. I think I mention it almost every time we have a split on this. But yeah, the reason most teams are on the south side on a circle like this is there's very limited space in Sosnovka. So much more space on the north side. So actually getting out from this circle is not that bad. It's actually fairly easy to rotate here and get into a strong position. Over on the north side, your difficulty comes in the fact that you won't have many vehicles. So you do get a big plus for Burmese schools, Wolves, Loops, even... Where is Weibo?
That is a good point.
Weibo's like off in northwest. Yeah, they're not going to make it to the circle for ages, I've decided. But yeah, Weibo's fine as well because they have vehicles and they will do. So everyone on the south side kind of struggles. But Geekay, because they were the first to hold on the eastern side, they're the first to cross as well. And they know Alter Ego is a weakened team, so they can effectively get those URs across. So they're one of the lucky few over towards Sosnovka. But this does change everything.
Yeah, the pace at which you need to leave. I think it's worse for the teams on that northern coast, right? And we've been watching now this engagement for quite a little bit between Alliance and Inner Circle. They're probably the most trapped teams, right? A lot of other teams will have left their vehicles that they rotated with if they went over the water, to the sides, to the east, to the south, the west of the island. They can use those to get back, potentially, depending on their fuel capacity. But in general, yeah, you're going to be crunched in. We saw Alliance having to go for a mad dash. Inner Circle tried to light up the hovercraft that Alliance were rotating with. Did do a lot of damage, but Alliance now almost entirely across the way, and Inner Circle yet to make the move. Blank, look, I hate to bring it up, but it still technically could finish towards military.
You technically could. I think it's way more likely to shift back over towards that north side. And if we do end up with military, it'd probably be a bridge finish. Really digging deep into this. Weibo finally make their way onto our screen. Over on the northwest side. A little FAMAS in there. Seems to be pretty hidden to the Burmese ghouls for the moment. Looking forward to check it.
Yeah, not wanting to pick that one up. Or not just yet. Maybe they will. We'll get it into the inventories lickety-split, I'm sure. And on the north side, I mean, yeah, that position for Burmese Ghouls, pretty solid. Weibo have made an appearance on the map. If you guys want to track at home where your favorite teams are at all times, there is a map feed available that you can watch separately. If you've got 2 screens or if you've got a second device, if you've got 2 Infinix phones, then of course, great news for you. Okay, we're definitely not going back to Millie. So let's take a look at what sits inside this one. Wolves with a huge cut of this western side. And all of these teams on the north can do a lot of work to establish ground early with not too much conflict.
Yeah, not that much at all, if I'm honest. I think for Weibo, them getting over towards this north side, this has been such a beneficial circle for Weibo. Currently in 7th place right now, so do need to get a little bit more on board. The flash takes out another player from Alter Ego and will be a full flush. So now only one player remains from Alter Ego here, looking for those placement points. I'm looking more towards Influence Rage this game now then, who are down towards the southwest side. They're currently looking to cross back. They were one of the last to leave from Sosnovka, but I think they were so concerned with having vehicles on this end game. Goodness me, in a circle. They were so concerned with having vehicles that they waited for everyone else to leave first and then moved to the western side, which I like as a principle. You know that there's going to be quite a few teams already down on the north. This fight is going back and forth.
It's really not going well for anyone. I mean, this route out is very, very dangerous. It's gone back and forth, I think. For Geeky, they managed to get across, which is pretty great stuff. Obviously, doing a lot of damage to Alter Ego to allow them to get across when they did. This may well be resable here for Inner Circle, and they do have a little bit of time to play with the zone still shrinking. Yeah, I think IQ's going to be able to get on for these reses because there's no way that Geeky push further out to go for this, and they don't have anyone on the far side to try and look for it. So IQ and Falak both will be rezzed up here.
Yeah, I think for Inner Circle, for me, I would have rather than take a similar approach to Influence Rage and Gen G. With the circle being, with the blue already enveloping the majority of that western side, it's likely that anyone that heads there is looking just to cross. All right, they're not looking to hold anyone out. I think for Inner Circle, trying this eastern bridge as late as they did was a mistake. That also feels like a mistake from Redox. I think he got very panicked there. Should have probably just headed all the way back.
Yeah,
lovely.
Nade, actually. Over the top. Another one over the other side as well. 2 players from Geeky down. And they're back down to the back foot as Ragnarok.
That's on target.
Takes another nade from Falak. That is beautiful stuff coming on through. Just Kevin now remains. The blue zone survivable still at this point. Kevin, though, wants to maybe get 1, maybe get 2. They're confirming those flushes, and they're moving forwards. Falak and IQ now looking for the last player of Geeky. They found him. They hop out. But it's danger afoot. He's looking for the flushes as well. IQ, look at a hop. No. Has to stay further back. Looking for the stairs now, and the challenge around the corner is good. Stays alive, keeps IQ in it. They can res out here. Oh, with the zone, actually. They might have to dart forwards a little bit.
I think they could probably put him in the vehicle. It's going to be treacherous. No, he's just down and out. Unfortunate. But yeah, I think for Geeky, when I saw the Inner Circle was going with the full reset, you know that Geeky is also going to get all 4 players back up again. It just felt almost hopeless. I do think that Geeky absolutely trolls, though. They absolutely troll. There was some horrendous defense on that side. And basically just setting yourself up for failure when it came to those nades. I think you could have held much further back.
Certainly would have been an option. Papa Supermassive ramming into the north side of the circle against Influence Rage, and both Alter Ego and now Influence Rage are on the ropes here. Potential openers for other teams to move on in. No resistance found there for Influence Rage. They will be our second team to go down fully. So for Burmese Ghouls, if they can convert on this game, brilliant news for them. From the eastern side, they don't have a terrible shot at it either.
Burmese Ghouls, it's a little bit harder of a run out over towards that western side. I can't believe Rosemary's still getting stuff done, by the way, but okay. It's a little bit of a tough run out for them because a lot of teams will be looking that way. But there is only 46 players currently in the lobby with 14 teams, so it's a lot of messed up squads.
Koa, the inside has Narvalo as well. He's going to have to rely entirely on him, and Narvalo doesn't have anyone to play around at this point. He is surely not long for it, and the Boars able to truck him down once more on that southwest edge. The Boars pretty happy with their 3 elims so far in Alliance. Yet to really cross from the beachhead, but they are still in the zone.
That hovercraft is actually kind of nuts inside the warehouse there because it cuts off the one other approach. So you know the player can only go one way. So you don't have to set up a double angle. You can literally just refrag on one side. It's kind of smart. Actually kind of smart. I like it.
Pretty solid setup. Hopefully look at a hold out effectively. On that south side. They'll have to move in a little bit for the time being. They'll leave it up to the rest of the lobby. Team Flash maybe with an opportunity here to come up trumps as well on the east side of this circle. We haven't really seen too much firepower from them so far today. We've seen it from them before, though, and they'll try and echo that here. They are still very much within striking distance of the top three, so a big game here changes the story somewhat. Weibo on their 2-2 split as well. Want to rewrite their script up until now. Kasu's got the bow, and you'd love to see it.
We did sort of miss it, but Influence Rage all went out on the western side, so all 4 players down, which leaves second place no longer chasing, which is great news for Alter Ego. If they can get up towards, you know, top 6, it is a tough task I'm asking of Rosemary there, but if they get to a top 6, you know, 50 points, you're clear 10 points ahead. At that point, you'd be 20 points ahead of third place right now, who are chasing and are still in the lobby. But overall, this might just be a non-starter game for a lot of our top squads and gives more opportunity for some of our teams underneath to chase. That's better for Birmingham's goals. All right, Ichi's already sending out towards the western side. They've done great. You know, I'm so proud of the goals. They came into this one looking a little bit weak, but they certainly have gotten better and better, gone from strength to strength. So really, really well done.
Ooh. Did Boars know that Alliance were here?
But
They must have done. They definitely do now. Because I feel like sending out South down as a solo when you know there's 3 players there is just a bad play. So the only explanation I could think of is that they just had no idea Alliance were playing on this compound. And now they're going to be way more worried than they once were. Much more difficult to push out, especially now with the circle shifting all the way away from them. The Wolves will be that edge guard on them. Leaving 2 up towards the circle. Yeah, they want this on the full surround. But the Boars have started to nade this out. I can only conclude that the Boars had no idea.
Well, they swam, right? They swam. So to get behind them, just a bit of a sneaky approach, but Snurks will find Jimmy. Playing out towards the pontoons is pretty open. I mean, you can play very annoyingly from the pontoons, but eventually, as you have to move in, suddenly the sightlines become worse and worse. EXO does have the lineup, gets some good shots over towards Iftar, and more shots are pouring through now, and it is looking a little bit more dangerous for Alliance. Now go down to just 2.
The Boars are starting to falter as well. They're on 2 as well. Snowix, though, what's Iftar charging into the warehouse? Denied entry, denied access. And we'll find the second as well. But they have to get a move on. The Wolves are ready to receive now. They are in position ahead of this curve. Papa Supermassive is still across the way as well, so can take shots out. Havlik diverting around Coops with the DP in tow, but actually out in the open, Havlik finds a rock, finds the cover, and Coops goes down, gets flushed as well. A really good opener for the Boars, and they're looking for more too.
Wasn't even really the Boars, it was Arkred off on the northwest. I think for the Wolves here, this is just a plain old mistake. Right? But I think that they didn't have to push as hard as they did. They could have just waited for Boars, and that would have required patience. As we all know, Wolves have none.
Just salivating at the prospect of more eliminations. Let's go! Okay, we're not having a good time. Oh no. Either way, Wolves have 2 players to play on with now. In the meantime, we did see these Ghouls losing a player. They took a knock over towards Ichi. So they have to play on as 3. Loops pushing in from the south side. Do spot one of the 2 Boars players remaining, Havlik. And Snowix will have his work cut out for him to go for the res. The Eagle that close by as well. And the Loops crash comes through. Alter Ego. They've been surviving for a while. They don't have any elims, but it's just Rosemary in here. Loops may or may not know this, but they're going to bide their time. They're going to play this one smart. Nade over to the back. Checking out the angles. The window falls short, or rather the nade falls short of the window. Team nade there. Not super happy with that, but Rosemary goes down either way, and they'll know an immediate elimination. There's only 1 player in there. Other than that, there was a knock. There was nothing on the cards for them. And Loops find a second. 2 teams wiped out in the space of 20 seconds.
You know, I feel really bad for Rosemary there. I don't think that's his fault he goes down. It could have gone a lot better. The problem is that nade bounces off the window they intended to throw it in. And then the small splash damage revealed that it was on the lower building. So immediately the other player switches where their grenade is. towards the lower window. A very unfortunate turn of events.
Soup already got a knock or a flush. I don't know which one with that explosive bow. I just caught it in the Elim feed. And he wants to find more here, Blank. He still got it in the pocket. Taken a lot of damage from a nade, but now Remix stepping out of the wall. He is in to explosive bow range and the nade over the top. The spray down, though, is a little bit stronger. Hero, the trade, but that will be Resable. 33Z already on the mission. Weibo looking to transition, to clamber up those tables as far as they can go. Polygot wants to find Soup. Nade in again. Bounces wrong, doesn't connect.
And gets his head taken off. So Weibo now starts to move up. Smokes are down. Smoke the US as Order starts the approach towards the circle. You got Arcred down towards their southwest side. See how they deal with that. Wolves are finally out as well. I think that they had an okay idea, but just failed to check the angles. It's a frustrating one, definitely, because I think when you look at Wolves, there is a clear understanding of what they want to achieve and what they want to pull off. But a lot of times it is just with a slight lack of planning in relation to the circle, which I'm not a huge fan of, especially at PMGC.
Yeah, it does need a little bit more, maybe. A little bit more global mindset. To come into this one, Loops trying to jump up at the moment to join their Brazilian brethren, Influence Rage, in towards the top of the tables. Crashing over towards Papa Supermassive. The approach seems to be going okay. Betin's not taken out of the vehicle, just pumping lead from out the window. Boom, 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 and they fall one after the other. It's Papa Supermassive getting torn to pieces. Loops with a not even super fast roll-up, but very, very effective. Team Flash might try and pounce, though, and that might be a little bit more than Loops can handle. Already one flushed. And another? Not long after it, might seem a nade over the top as well from Team Flash, and they charge straight on in. But 9 Elims found for Loops. We'll see what Vitin can do. He's got one more chance to prove himself and finds win. Goes for the flush. We'll take one, but no more from Team Flash.
That's really bad news for Team Flash, actually. I think that the initial push from Team Flash was fantastic. Really, really quick. Third party from them, instantaneously realizing they could get some nades over the top, and then quickly with the setup. Win going down there, I don't think he had to push it like the way he did. Didn't have teammates backing him up. That also could equally be a teammate issue and not Win's fault, where the team wasn't with him fast enough. But the fact that they go down to 3 players in this kind of an ending, that is the sort. Win's fault, where
Percentages that exponentially grow in terms of your winning chances towards those later games. With 4, I mean, if they can just get a little bit more control over the plateau, they have a massive presence. And losing another here to Glory, I don't think they can get this res. Odysseus, that nade over the top, I mean, that should find it. That's just going to make it so difficult. There's no way you can get this one back, surely. And Arcred taking Team Flash down to 2. That's even worse than 3, Blank. That's less. That's fewer players.
Glory on 4 Elims. I mean, Glory has had a lot of glory during these matches. He is a brute of a player, really takes on a lot of these top squads. Insane off angles from him. Sook using the old watchtower to his advantage. Not going to be in the circle too much longer, so he's not fully committing to it, which is fair enough. But does take attack from Glory, at least gets an angle of where that comes from, though.
Little bit of info. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. Now Hardboy trying to move forwards with the vehicle as well. Wending his way across. Actually going to join Glory. I mean, position's given away anyway. Might as well. Weibo. Still, though, feeling pretty in command of this one. But big nade counts for both Arcred and for Burmese Ghouls.
So Weibo looking to swing around the side. Look over towards Burmese Ghouls. The spot where they're playing. Right now, Weibo does have a really good commanding presence of knowledge where teams are playing, where they're sat. So they know where Flash is, they know where Arcred is, they know where Burmese Ghouls are. Now it's time to take all that knowledge, put it together, and create a game plan. Because where I want to see Weibo succeed here, this is a big chance.
Massive opportunity. Absolutely. I think Sook still has his explosive bow as well. See if that comes in clutch. I mean, it's a fearsome presence in an open ending, right? You just keep peppering the battlefield with those explosions, little small nades, just popping out, maybe more than anybody else in the lobby at this point. The Burmese Ghouls, I think they had 10 in the pocket. But they are really trapped out, crunched with Order Hero, Sook as well, controlling their rotate down towards the south.
These guys have to send nades over towards the Flash, but it's a little bit early for that. But you're getting impatient now. You're absolutely getting impatient. Which is fair enough. And Burmese Ghouls look to send out. Glory goes down, but not before he finds at least 33Z. The Flash is going to look for this, actually.
Fair enough.
Bose is crazy.
He might just be making it work because Arcred have just fallen completely. They've taken up the position. Tops is starting to get across now as well, evading the nades coming through from the Burmese Ghouls. I thought the Burmese Ghouls might try and take a look to Weibo when they lost their player, but no. Instead, they try and flush out Team Flash, but that's not gone super well for them. 3 players now alive, the maximum of any team with 33Z getting confirmed. Weibo want to start to break out more, but everybody's on the edge except for Team Flash.
Yeah, I mean, for Team Flash getting in there, great news for them. And they have nades, apparently. One gets a little bit closer to Sook. Sook makes the correct play to move back, but immediately another nade. These are very on point coming through from the Flash. You can see exactly why this team just was pipped to the post to getting in towards the grand finals. By 1 point.
Weibo. They were tied with Team Flash as well. So it is really a battle for Group Red, but Burmese Ghouls looking to keep that representation going, to arise to another chicken dinner today, Blank, which would be pretty incredible. To only have 2 chicken dinner winners so far on the day. Have Alter Ego, Burmese Ghoul divvying them up. We'll have to wait and see, because the center of the circle still very much not under control. I don't think, I mean, I haven't seen that explosive bow come back out for Sook. I don't think he's got it anymore, which is unfortunate, but looks like the nade cabinets are dry on all fronts now. Maybe 1 more for Team Flash, 1 more for Burmese Ghouls. If it lands onto Order, that could be huge. A Molotov to control the flank.
I mean, Burmese Ghouls actually have such a great lineup. I mean, a lot of nades are being expended, and Weibo decides that now's the time to go. It's a good roll down onto 1, and Hero really is being the hero that they needed. But now, in a 2v3, it's a little bit more difficult. Godspeed goes down, though. This is insane from Hero. Is it Burmese Ghouls? It is Burmese Ghouls to finish it out.
They just about clinch it back. Hero out in the open field, able to charge him down, and it will be 2 teams taking 4 chicken dinners between them. A massive game for Burmese Ghouls. Weibo on a little bit of a redemption arc there, having a lot of points thrown onto their tally as well. The top 2 spots are deeply contested now. And we have got a few teams looking to try and challenge some Brazilian ascendancy during that match as well. Had a little bit of a chance for everyone to try and jump up to find themselves a chance moving forwards, because the games are running out, Blank. It is such a fast scenario. You cannot afford to waste any time, and things may get even crazier.
Yeah, we're getting close to the halfway day point now. For Burmese Ghouls, that makes 4 chicken dinners total in PMGC. Very, very well done. And they're certainly rising to the top.
in the shadows, waiting for their moment to arise. The Burmese Ghouls pull out a chicken dinner right when they needed to, MaxPad, because the top two teams didn't get a single point in this match. This was a huge one for so many squads.
Yeah, no points for the top of the rankings, meaning it's going to get real damn close on the leaderboards after this match. Though this finishing play, Hero almost being the hero here that Weibo needed in that finishing moment to claim the win. The drive-by, able to get himself so much done onto Team Flash. Oh, man, this guy's been definitely stepping up to the plate. But it is the Burmese Ghouls here, stepping up with a very low elimination chicken dinner. We do have to say, Nipchara,
Wow.
very low indeed. They were hiding farm for a big portion of this game and only got involved when they knew they could strike to get that chicken dinner. So they didn't have to put too much effort into this one, but the timing at the end there was really well executed.
It really, really was. I really liked the flip of the switch that they had, right? From being passive, holding the compound, not doing much, to, okay, now we need to start spreading out. Now we need to fend off teams. They went onto the aggro very, very nicely and much. Burmese Ghouls, how they're playing this, they're just keeping it really consistent. You know that consistency is the name of the game, especially when it comes to having only 12 matches in the last chance as opposed to 18. So, you know, we might not see huge, massive games because those games typically need a lot of big risk taking. So we might not see that from them, but just these consistent top 5 finishes should be enough.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, they got, what was that, second place on the Rondo, the second wrangle, they got 4th place, and here they get an actual chicken dinner. So when it comes to placement points, they should be one of our top squads in the entirety of the last chance so far. Very happy with how they've been playing it out. Of course, if you want to be top 2, though, I do want to bring up a very important topic. Are we going to be able to see them to make top 2, Hodgix, when they don't have the eliminations to back up these strong late-game finishes? Because other teams that are more aggro-focused, like maybe your Ultra Egos, maybe your Influence Rages, those elims are going to make a significant dent in that difference in the leaderboards.
For sure. I mean, if we have like another crazy like 30-point game from one of these squads, that's going to definitely push them out of top 2. So it's always potential, you know, that for that to happen. But, you know, at the end of the day, getting into those late games is going to net you some good solid points. So I like the fact that Burmese Ghouls are doing that here, but we need to see at least one good solid finish as we see this crazy hold off here on the Bridge Max.
Yeah, what did Blank say? They were trolling PK a little bit? I think they were. They were clearly... just completely caught off guard by the phallic grenades. And you never expect a strong phallic grenade. They come out of nowhere when you least expect.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, Snowix being able to put up the points for his team anyway, but yeah, I would have liked a better setup coming in from there. Loops, you see that, you know, frustration. I think the tension and the emotions are really running high now, right? Because you've got so few games left. And so you're going to start seeing a lot of that frustration, but Hero was the hero of the game. I loved seeing that so much. I mean, they were getting absolutely bullied in the end of that game, right? Just being pushed against the blue zone with those nades, and Hero just coming out and saying, nope, not happening. It was really nice to see, Max.
Yeah, very good to see indeed, though, looking at, again, these ones. And we're going to see the biggest bait and switch of an early circle going from phase 1 to phase 2. Like, it's on Lufka Island. There's no way. We had so many of these.
Yeah,
even Blank and John were saying, like, we keep having it. Boom. Back to mainland. Nope, that was a little bit of a bait. We tricked you. And you know what? It goes right to the western side of Farm. And very good rotates from Weibo. You're looking at their position, playing East Potato Hill. It's a good high ground, absolute oversight on this low ground terrain. And they just take that northern position pretty much for free. And while Burmese Ghouls, as you can see here, Nipchara, just, again, not really hiding. I think I said hiding is not the right word. Just playing passive, but that was the correct decision, knowing you were in circle and in farm.
Yeah, especially with how open this area is, right? That circle we saw in the end zone, like circle 9, circle 8 is like there is nothing there. It's just open ground. So you've really got to take the more passive approach just to make sure you get the correct angles. And we are going to see those match rankings, and it is going to be Weibo with the 15 points on the board. So they don't get the win, but they do get the most amount of points. And actually, our winners, the Burmese Ghouls, they're down to 12 just because of that really low elimination count.
Man, super lucky rotation on that zone for Weibo, right? I mean, that hard shift north helped them out big time, but they utilized it to its full potential, right? 15 points is going to be big for them. Now, Burmese Ghouls, they were in third place prior to this match. So 12 is a great game from them. I think, of course, we would have loved to see some more eliminations, but it's all about getting those points, right, Max? The thing is, though, with the fact that Alter Ego and Influence didn't get anything. Look at that. 15th, 16th place. That opened the door for so many squads to try to catch up to them. On the other hand, right, when we look at the bottom of the leaderboards, I mean, we only have 8 matches left, guys. That is it. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in these last 2 for those bottom squads.
I mean, half the Orangles are done and dusted, Natura. If you were looking to do some
crazy.
good games on Orangle and unfortunately didn't have a good first 8, oof, that's going to be denying a lot of your potential points you were expecting to get in the last chance stage.
I mean, and it even comes down to sort of zone luck, right? If you got a really nasty zone against you in all 3 Orangles, it's going to be really difficult. But the Burmese Ghouls are in second place with 42 points.
Yeah.
In second place. So, I mean, yeah, it was a very low elimination game, but hey, it got them where exactly they needed to be.
Oh, actually, I did say they were a little bit low on the elimination count, but I just looked at their rondo. They got 14 elims. Actually, you know what? That kind of really carries their eliminations when it comes to the leaderboard. So actually, not too bad. Still want to see more on that potential win where they got here, but that is going to be enough for them to be currently in second place, just over Influence Rage. As you said, Hodrix, right? The fact that Alter Ego gets 0 points, Influence Rage gets 0 points, opened up a massive opportunity for some of these teams. And here, Burmese Ghouls, oh man, the timing on that win was just perfect for them to make that jump in the top of the rankings.
For sure. And for everybody watching, we're going to be brutal on these analysis here because this is the last chance, guys, right? We got 14 teams going home. They're not going to get another shot at this for an entire year, okay? And I understand, Max, why you're saying like, hey, Burmese Ghouls, why couldn't you get a little bit more eliminations in this one? Because we have seen almost every stage now, right? The chance of moving on or going home has been one singular point. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I mean, it's a great game, right? I know everyone's like, why are you guys probably being harsh on them, right? It's because, with the potential of amount of points these other teams can grab. This lobby is stacked, right? So Weibo, they moved up a little bit more. They're now sitting in 5th place with 35 points. They're only 7 away from that second point game. And if they are able to pull out a chicken dinner in this Miramar, they're going to jump up for sure.
Oh, they could definitely do a massive jump up. It is going to be down to the wire for the top 2 points position in the leaderboards. 3rd place might be unfortunately a little bit disappointed after how things go after these 2 days worth of gameplay. By the way, I want to say that previous graphic with the top 4 utilities was wrong. Do you know why? It's because
why?
We all know Sook is using the explosive bow, and that does not count as utility, but it should. Right. If it was, he would have had 50 plus. Okay, so that graphic might need an update just for Sook because it's his fault.
Dude. You know what? All right, guys, let's keep it super brutal here. All right, I really am. All right, GK, I don't think they're gonna make it. With what I've seen today, with them trying to hold off on the bridge and not trying to go for circle, being so low on the leaderboards, I just don't think they're gonna make it in the top 2. 9Z, Falcons, Gen G, I think they're all in big trouble here, guys. I think if I don't see a chicken dinner in this game, I'm gonna count them out as well. Is that crazy of me, Neptura? What do you think?
No, I was going to say the exact same thing, 13th and down. We've not seen anything from these teams to make us confident that they're going to do something even tomorrow, honestly. There's just no momentum there. They're not picking up, any sort of speed. They're not being mobile with their pushes. They're kind of getting stuck in weird fights and weird positions, and they're just not holding out other teams effectively. So as much as I love some of these teams, I have to say they're just not doing enough.
Well, all I can say to that is I agree. There's not much more. You got the bottom of the rankings, not good. You want to be higher on the rankings. But as you said, right, if we want to see these teams maybe have a chance to make it happen, we need to see Miramar just popping off points left, right, center. Big double-digit points, Hodrix. We need to see it. If you're at the bottom of the rankings, you know what? It is time to be desperate, because otherwise you'll go to the airport, maybe even before day 2, because you know you're not making it back, boy.
Hey,
Okay,
it's do or die. Do or die for the teams at the bottom of the leaderboards. Let's see if they can finally make their dreams come true in Miramar. John Allen and Blank, take it away.
Miramar marches towards us, inexorable as ever, and we are going to be heading in for match number 5. I've had enough of those military circles now, Blank, and we could still technically see it if we head up to Campo Militar, but hopefully it's not going to be quite so crazy this time around. We'll have to wait and see just where we'll end up. So our teams are dropping out. Looks like Papa Supermassive right shoulder to shoulder with Kike over La Copareria.
Yeah, making their way straight into this one. And the desk is right, you know, we do have to be brutal because it is last chance now. Minor mistakes can't be made up for. You're essentially right. A lot of your hopes are riding on this first day. Today is that initial foundation that you build for tomorrow's sprint towards the top of the lobby. And I think that as far away as you can get away from those other teams underneath you, the easier it's going to be for tomorrow. I mean, for Alter Ego, realistically, they want 2 strong games now. And I think that, honestly, for Alter Ego, it doesn't even have to be a strong game, right? I think I'm even mistaken saying that. I think that even if they just got 10 points per match here, they look to set themselves up to be in a very good place, because a lot of teams are being careless and making mistakes because they're so hungry for these points. And I think for Alter Ego, because they are that far ahead, they can just go for pretty consistent games. I mean, 10 points isn't that easy to hit, but you can play a lot less aggressive now.
Definitely. South side circle shift. Going down towards the south coast. A lot of water in. On the next circle. Papa Supermassive. Are we going to see? No, I thought he was going to pick up the explosive bow there. I was nearly thinking it was Sook in disguise, but not so lucky. Not this time around. And I mean, with the circle, you just got to get out of here as fast as possible. We hate these hot drops on Miramar. And it's, it's pretty much fully surrounded for Geeke. So Papa Supermassive, the team that can change the pace of this one, I think it's safe to say. Kamikaze will be feeding this information back. Going for a fight, unless he's guaranteed a knock and a flush, at this point, maybe not worth it, but that information is invaluable. And they can move the rest of their team up and into place.
Yeah, they're just holding for the time being. There's Nico, though, finding Saf G. And this... But it is basically a hot drop, right? Over towards La Cobradia. And that initial knock is perfect, though. Getting it early and then looking to enclose, like wrap the net around Geeke is going to allow you to rotate a lot sooner. I think we do have an interview very soon, John.
Oh, yeah, with Hardboy over on the stage with 7WG, caught up with how Arc Red are doing in 11th place.
To a quick report with the 7WG, I'm joined by none other than Arc Red Hardboy. I mean, a great performance here in this match, securing at least a top 4. But I want to go back because during your group stage, during Group Red, you almost qualified to Grand Finals directly. Do you think you can bring back that performance here in Last Chance?
Last Chance'da men uverенman, что hozircha o'yinimiz o'xshamayotgan bo'lishi mumkin, lekin hozir yana 2 ta karta bor, undan tashqari ikkinchi kun bor. Обязательно biz ancha yaxshiroq o'yin ko'rsatamiz. Просто ozgina ba'zi bir xatolarni ustida ishlab olsak bo'ldi. Adak hammasi kontrolda, xavotir olmaylik. Bor kuchimizni ishlatib harakat qilamiz Grand Finalga o'tish uchun.
We have two matches left and the second day left, and we'll try our best. Now we are not doing our best, but there is some moments that happening. So we will do our best, and the last second 2 matches and the second day to qualify into the grand finals.
All right. Well, hey, I love hearing that. Now, I've been told that you are actually currently going to university. The university was able. All right. Well, I know you also know English because you've been understanding all my questions. Is there anything you want to tell there to your friends, family, or even the university?
Hammani qo'llab-quvvatlayotgani uchun birinchi o'rinda rahmat deb qolaman. Shunchalik поддержка qilyapsizlar. Bunaqa поддержкani umuman kutmagan edik. Harakat qilamiz shu ishonchlarni oqlashga. Hammani yaxshi ko'ramiz. Biz uchun dalsh поддержка qilib tursanglar biz xursand bo'lamiz.
Now, let me stop you because I know you know English. So you want to say it in English too?
Of course. I want to say, first of all, I want to say thank you for all of our fans and for families, my friends watching in our universities, and for university administration also to make these watch parties happen. We will try our best to qualify and not fall you down. So keep cheering for us, and thank you for all. We love you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you as well. I can't wait to see if Heartcrate can bring it back here in the first day with only 2 matches left.
Hey, got to respect those roots, you know, fantastic stuff. Flexing some multilingual talent there as well, coming in. Very nice to see from Hard Boy. Maybe he will be in tune with the language of violence in this game, because you do need more points right now. From 11th place, it's necessary to jump up quite significantly here. And as the guys over on the desk, as Seven was saying, you definitely need to be starting to do something a little bit crazy coming into today's, or the rest of the day's games into Miramar. If you're down around 11th and lower, even halfway down the tables as well, it's starting to get too far away, even at this point.
It's a little bit tough. Get a replay of some of the ongoings that happened during that interview. Good shots from Ragnarok, honestly. Very good shots from Ragnarok. Finally able to put him down. So Upper Supermassive had a little bit of fright on that north side, but luckily are able to bounce back at least. Bit of a long journey for them though. They get their hiking boots on.
It's still, yeah, as you say, a bit of a way to go, but clearing out that north side. They'll be happy to leave with all 4 of their players getting some healing done. Meanwhile, all the way on the south coast, the Wolves trying to move in past Partona as they come up towards it in a little while. Some scraps pop it off, though, as Alter Ego, they're chiming back in. They've got 3 limbs, they've lost a player, and it's not Rosemary, which means that they are still keeping things going. But up on 51 points now, Blank. It's looking pretty fearsome for them. Top 2 is likely to be around 110 points. Now, that's a very, very rough estimate. It's very flexible as to what you're seeing there. Could be as high as 120, as 125. So being able to post up anywhere 60 and above today is brilliant news. For Alter Ego, they're pretty close already.
Yeah, again, for Alter Ego, like I said, it's just consistent points here. Yes, they've lost a player, but they are in a fairly good spot of the map right now in terms of this circle, so they can play a little bit slower. 7 more points required. They need a quick rotate up towards the north side now, past Impala, but there is options available to them. But yeah, 7 points on the game. That's not a tall task, especially for a team like Alter Ego. I believe they can do it. And that will put them in a very good position tomorrow, like you say, more than half of the way there.
So you want to set yourself success. Get in there as fast as you can. I mean, it's always the better way to do it, isn't it? But we'll see who's going to be able to join them, because still pretty tight, even around that second place bubble right now. An 11-point difference between second place and 6th place. So very, very flexible, especially in a 12-match sprint like this in a circle. Just a little bit out in the cold right now with a 7th place position. They've had I think, well, certainly one decent roll up, sometimes a little bit misguided. And on this circle on the south edge, they may have to try and figure out just what the difference is as they roll up towards Team Flash and towards Gen G and Weibo, even further beyond to the north.
Team Flash in 6th place, 31 points. There's still a chance for them. Again, I think anyone that's under or that 30-point position, they need a chicken dinner on one of these last 2 matches. So for me, that really includes Paprasy, Massive Boars, and potentially Wolves. I think for Arcred and Alliance, I am a little less convinced. That would have to be probably 2 strong games back-to-back. For Falcons, 9ZG, and GK, I think the run's done at this point, personally.
Yeah, I mean, barring miraculous games for the teams that are still alive, this match, like right here, right now, there's just no way, right? You can see 30-point games, even on Miramar. So it is possible to get up pretty close towards the top, but it's just not what we've been seeing from these rosters, right? It's not what we've come to expect now. And even though Falcons are in a pretty decent northern side spot of Los Leones, they've lost my faith, which is unfortunate. On the middle side, I'm going to be looking towards teams a little bit more healthy on the standings. There's Law, and Federal actually gets the cut across on towards Arc Red, and those viewer parties he was talking about, I don't think are going to be super happy right now, Blank, because he's the last hand. But for Law, Federal, they're charging it down. They've got Diego on the high ground as well, at a dominating spot.
Yeah, for Arcred, it goes from bad to worse there, as they do get eliminated on this game. 0 eliminations at 11th place. For Influence Rager, they're happy to pick up the points. They are currently chasing. Alter Ego set themselves up in a lineup there, and they do need to go a little bit further. So the fields are out towards that eastern side. You also have a lot of Los Leones down towards the south. So what you're looking at right now is this horizontal cross, right? Where a lot of teams need to play in. You could send some players down towards that south side just to hang around on the northern edge of Los Leones, but this is cutting out a lot of area because you don't really want to be playing in Lebedita either, unless you're the Ghouls, I guess. But it's not ideal. There's a lot of space in this circle, which is just not where you want to be. And if you're forced to go there, it's not going to feel great for your end game.
You're going to have a pretty rubbish time. I'm imagining we'll see 1 or 2 escapees from the fight, maybe just send into Los Leones right now, but for the moment, teams are still a little bit put together. I'm expecting that to change when this next shift starts to close.
I think most of the teams are waiting for that as well, John, personally. I think they'd love to know where this next circle is heading over towards. I think Alliance right now have a strong position. Influence Rage, particularly inside the concrete, is very safe. Genji, damn, he gets cut out of the vehicle. I feel like Win could have had those shots over towards Dami there. He's a little bit late on the peak.
Maybe.
Bose might be able to find it though.
Oh, maybe not, though, because the answer from the passenger side seems pretty effective, and Bose has to back off, doesn't want to overexpose, give too big of a target for those bullets to land in response. And, okay, they're really getting backed off here. Gen G, great, to take a stand. And on the north side now of Los Leones, the northeast corner, just about squeaking their way in, find a little bit of refuge.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I mean, that shot from Gen G as well kind of saves them there. It was an immediate reset from their side. So I was quite pleased with the way they played that out. And they get towards the northern portion of Los Leones. Like I said, you play in those northern buildings. Enemy schools have been spotted by Cause, but the location is revealed very early right now here for the Boars. You are on the outside of the circle at the moment, so Burmese schools know that they have a competitor in the midst.
Something they will be keeping an eye on. Just making sure that that one is under control, but unknown at the back line for Burmese Ghouls. Yeah, not happy. Not happy. Might be Rezable. Maybe, but the ball's with oversight. Yeah. Okay. No, that isn't going to be resable. Next circle coming on in, though. The open ground to the east, or the city to the south, into the ridgeline in the middle. Look at a center on towards the Falcons, Blank. I mean, they've been here before. I just don't believe in them now.
Yeah, this is kind of, it's nice FMO. I think most teams would have preferred a center on this. It means you can much more commit towards these hills, the high grounds, the cliff tops. Good shots, though, from the Flash. Takes down 2 players from Weibo, which is pretty disastrous for our 4th place team.
Yeah, that's unfun. Not what you want to see. Coming off the back of the game they just had as well, getting into the points decently. Yeah, this is Weibo back up to their old tricks now. It's 33Z charging for some semblance of, but it's so few and far between, he won't find it. The rocks, his final resting place there. Grander monument that perhaps he deserves. Narvalo holding his own, though. Say I lost faith in the Falcon. I have not lost faith in Narvalo. He's still got a little more power to give, a little bit more to do. The rest of the team getting assisted there, and Papa Supermassive fall before his feet. 3 of those points go towards him. I mean, this man's a one-man army. He's the only thing propping the Falcons up right now.
Yeah, I think the Falcons are very, very glad to have Narvalo on side. He is a unreal component to the team. But yeah, this sort of, again, a last chance, though. Falcons need 2 big games, remember, which is very unlikely. Like, it can happen, but it's very unlikely. But that is the goal they need to hit today, sadly. And there's only 2 more matches left to do it.
Here we go. The challenge on the roll up the board seemed to be no match for it, though. They will come a cropper on the approach. Haplik now getting chewed through a little bit by Alva, and the backlines eat him up fully. Actually, that's Burmese Ghouls as well chiming on in, but Krypton now feels the terror. Yapka steps forward, steps up to the plate. Rosemary now for the challenge, and again, they're just not tagging on. He's ticking up on the healing with those stims, but it doesn't even matter because they haven't taken a lick of damage back towards him. And 4 players alive for the Burmese Ghouls. They did manage to get their player back up unknown into the fold. Ichi, ooh, that's the bow down though. Take a little bit of time because Alliance are taking shots out this way too.
Alliance looking to take shots off into the distance. Over towards Alter Ego as well as Burmese Ghouls. See if they can get their way through here. I think that's the most surprising thing is Burmese Ghouls was able to pick Unknown back up again.
Yeah, and that Labendita crater. It was the boars really who were holding that one down. So as soon as they alleviated, they could go back on out. They're moving in with 4. I mean, they're chasing down Alter Ego now. Chasing away Influence Rage, who really aren't in the area, though. So a bit of a separated fight on that front, split apart by Alliance. Next circle blank is just about to pop, but the Falcons still holding their middle. For now, they're doing pretty well.
We move down towards the south side. So Genji on that rotate past the Flash actually works out massively well in their favor. Able to get into a fairly strong position here. Burmese Ghouls looking to move their way down past Alter Ego. Remember, 6 elims. This is great news. Actually, we weren't paying too much attention to this, but 6 elims so far for Alter Ego is very good. And I think that if Alter Ego disengaged from this fight, I'd be quite pleased with that as well. I don't think they need to fight this.
I don't necessarily know. They can just try and move away. First or second doesn't really make too much of a difference. When it comes to it, it's all about getting just one or the other at this point. So you don't really want to slow down the Burmese Ghouls. You want to try and pick a team, maybe, and give them a little boost up. Although you can't really do that. You can't really afford to take that time because it will just hit your points tallies more than anything. If you try and overinvest in something like that, generally a bad plan. Very inadvisable. But for now, disengage. Earn more points than you thought ever possible by making the smart play here on the north side.
For Alter Ego, they actually get Rosemary down towards the southwest. That's past Alliance as well as past Burmese Ghouls. I think it's hard now to get the rest of the team over towards them. They're definitely going to get shot at. It's a little bit of luck required. Alpha going down is unfortunate. But I think Alter Ego, they made their mind up much earlier.
Alter Ego. They are going to contest it back. Godspeed does take a bit of damage, but it will not get the knock. Bit low on the armor there for Krypton, but it's actually Falcons who chime in towards Godspeed to be able to take him down. And Narvalo picks up another point. 5 elims now for the team. Unknown deep back into the blue to grab a vehicle and goes all the way out wide. They do not want to get involved, but Rosemary has got their run out too. Yatka has to hop out behind the vehicle, and Rosemary's not connecting on the spray, forced to go for the reload. Now the rest of the team, all the Burmese Ghouls, can start to put pressure on, can start to move around, but they're so low on HP. A nade, it bubbles around. Rosemary doesn't see it. Oh no, and he goes down to a nade. He had Yatka dead to right, but just couldn't convert. And now it's just Krypton on the back lines. Last player to stand, and Yatka is going to pick that up. 4 elims for Burmese Ghouls, and they take down first play.
That is sad. That is very, very sad. For Burmese Ghouls, they are chasing though. And Burmese Ghouls are doing a fantastic job today. They really are. It's been a little less explosive, a little less flashy, but they get the job done. So well done to them. Mindset Globen moving past the walls here, but there is some fantastic shots going through. Doran does need to be aware of those sightlines though.
Certainly does. You can't just be going on through without a care in the world at this point. Wolves making their way on in. Gen G pushed aside somewhat, but still with a force on the southwest edge of it. Shots over towards the Wolves. The center keeps those scrappy buildings in as well. And for Influence Rage, this is pretty good news for their chase, or it would be if the Burmese Ghouls weren't still in.
Burmese Ghouls still holding on this outside edge jump. Looking over towards the Alliance. Alliance have crossed the road, which was going to be the big difficulty for them. The fact they've already got 2 outposts out there is really good. Means they can potentially get the other players across, but both teams will need to deal with Influence Rage in the future. Falcons are nipping at the Burmese Ghouls' heels. How does Flash hit that? That's a win right on the eastern side. He's far away from the rest of the team, and he's just causing problems for the Alliance.
All right. Burmese Ghouls going to rock up now. A little bit too much trouble the Falcons are causing them, and they want to try and change that. But 4v3 with low HP bars. Alliance on that side, fight 2. This is tough stuff for the Burmese Ghouls. A real test of fortitude. But Jimmy's not connecting onto the spray down with Yatka. And they're going to have to move as well, so can no longer influence this fight. Healing will slowly start to tick up for the Burmese Ghouls, and the Falcons just want to hold the edge of this white ring. No nades finding their way on just yet. Unknown goes a little bit long against him. And the danger sent back up top. Doesn't tag on either.
Yeah, a little slow on the game here. And again, it's because the terrain is so horrendous to work with for a lot of squads. The Flash still having this massive high ground down towards the southeast is quite funny. That stayed in the game for so long. Then there's a tiny bit of Lost Leon still in. So it's sort of an urban area finish if we head down towards the southwest side, John.
Yes. Got the potential to go either way, really. Hilltops, urban, no open ground. So maybe that's the one saving grace that we're going to see. Falcons with 5 elims. It is do or die time for this team. Narvalo with 4 of them. Brilliant on the hold against the run-up from Papa Supermassive. It's now up to get the Burmese Ghouls to try and take a turn around the block, and landing an aid onto Narvalo does a little bit of damage. Got an aid in response, and Unknown goes fully down for it. Redox with 3. 1 on the cook right now, 1 launched out fast, and Yatka falls. The nades from Falcons are landing on target. It's up to Ichi now to keep them alive, but the points is going to start to flow towards the Falcons tally. 8 elim. Transition south. or die. That is the challenge for Falcons.
Very well done to Ralph there, holding this angle. Knew that this would be the approach and a team would take. Managing to find this initial knock, and then they can start to control Alliance as well as Ralph looks over. Another good nade, one more sent through, and it's a good pop on that one. Another player drops down.
Hello. Might have angles. Hang on a minute, not that low. I mean, what you step it out? That's pretty crazy. Redox wants to try and channel that in an Arvalo situation, but he's just making them feel unnerved. And around the corner they go. I think was Team Flash chiming in there, or Narvalo was able to put that one to bed. Everybody else seemingly a distraction. But Narvalo to tear through the lobby. Loop's going to roll up. Don't want to get stuck in because the Falcons are terrifying right now on that northern edge. And they'll move into town in the meantime. Keeps that corner scrap in play. The Loops are going to try and make the most of it.
There's pretty interesting ending here, John. A little bit of buildings down towards the south side. The Wolves are currently holding. The Falcons can sort of play this position, but they need to wait for the Flash to be forced off that high ground first. It's the only way they can push down towards the south. It's the reason why Alliance went down to the Flash, because they had those angles from that southeast side. This is smart from the Falcons to bide their time.
I mean, they'll also be able to potentially farm a couple more elims down towards the town, right? With that oversight, with that high ground. There go Team Flash. They've made their move. So do the Falcons make their move now too? Falak with a hold. Good on the first date. As the approach to Inner Circle, who have been fairly quiet here, steps out for the flush and win. Can't quite connect. Falak dodging around those bullets. That spray not going well. Bose falls as well. But now Falak holds against the last player from Team Flash, right at his doorstep, waiting for the shots, and he's not given an inch. Will step out, look for the spray. You can't come in here. There's no room. Falak's too big for the boots, and we'll be able to slam down with a hefty step on towards Team Flash, and Noki will knock the running entirely.
I didn't realize Falak was trying to get in his boots, but yeah, I guess he is too big for his boots. An interesting play there from Falak. Managed to hold on.
These boots aren't big enough for the both of us.
But apparently not. Apparently not. I mean, it is scary. I would be worried if a man tried to come to me and try and get his feet in my... I would enjoy that. The Falcons... dealing with Influence Rage, who are still holding on this high ground. They got taken down by Influence Rage, did Flash earlier. So Falcons again have a new target, new enemy. I think they are playing it out fairly reasonably so far. Big Molly in the building. Doesn't quite spread far enough though. Well, Dammy's getting prepared. Medkit.
He's already tagging it on. I feel like the Falcons have just always fallen short of getting into strong late game scenarios, right? Over the course of what we've seen from them so far. But in those late game spots, that is where they really haven't been able to show too much. But they definitely have got the prowess to be able to make it through. The nerves hopefully going to hold for them, as Falak still will deny entry to anybody. Unfortunately, he steps out of his building. His stronghold has been breached, and he will fall down. Gen G, the ones to be able to find the weakness in the armor there against the Inner Circle.
Gen G struggling, and I think likely to go down soon. But it is Falcons who are gathering the majority of the points off the back of this. Redox wants a little bit more, does not want these going over towards Inner Circle. And they should be able to tag on. Another shot from Narvalo over towards Federal. This is a very different Falcons from what we've seen before. They are giving it their absolute all in these final moments of the first day of Last Chance.
And they need to. This is their last chance to keep things going. 13 elims found now, Blank, and they have 2 knocks ready to farm on up. Looking to go monumental here. I said, oh, maybe 30-point games can happen, but maybe 30-point games can happen, Blank, because we've got 5 teams remaining. They're all in dribs and drabs. Influence Rage just about putting 3 of themselves back together, but the Falcons still have their high ground perch. With 6 elims on for Narvalo, the rest of the team is starting to catch up, but this is what they needed, and it could not have come at a better time.
No, I mean, they're all taking different fights. Honestly, this is the crazy thing about all of this, is that they are taking 3 fights at once. Each player is dedicated to a specific angle. You can see every time Redox comes off, he helps with the shots, and then he's immediately back over towards looking at that west side. They are gathering points quickly in this game, now looking to complete the run versus Influence Rage, but they lose 1. Sadly, Narvalo gets a little bit too close to it.
God, slips, misstep there. 3 players now for the Falcons as Inner Circle still trying to charge on through. Influence Rage trying to challenge for second place. Loops as well, but Inner Circle want to stop Loops dead in their tracks. IQ trying to hop on through. The nade comes through for the Wolves, and it will be everybody for Angle. The crutch down will go, and it's the Falcons to fall. They haven't made it. The Wolves, they managed to survive all of that. They get the chicken dinner? Are you kidding me? Where did that come from?
Oh, in the final moments, it was so necessary to get the chicken dinner. A slight falter from Cole. And I mean, that's a Falcons mistake right there. I don't think he had to push that. I know he wanted to clean house. I know he wanted those eliminations. But as a 4, maybe it could have been different. They have a fighting chance. They have a fighting chance.
They do still get second place. You're right. They managed to put a lot of tally as well because they were brutal. I didn't quite catch how many elims they got right at the end there for